Picture this, a breathtaking rooftop ballroom in San Diego, twinkling lights, the ocean shimmering under a starlit sky, and my daughter Emily, glowing in a pale blue satin dress, dancing with her friends. It was her night, a celebration of her hard work, her kindness, her unstoppable spirit. Months of planning had gone into making this moment perfect. The music was flawless, the food was divine, and the vibe? Pure magic. But then, out of nowhere, the music screeched to a halt. A voice blared through the speakers. "This party should have been mine." And just like that, my sister Vanessa turned my daughter's dream night into a jaw-dropping disaster. Buckle up, because this story of jealousy, betrayal, and ultimate redemption is one you won't forget. Hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the chaos.
Belle.
My daughter Emily is the kind of kid who makes parenting feel like a privilege. She's 16, pulls straight A's, juggles school with dance practice, and even works part-time to save for college. She never asks for much, so when her big birthday rolled around, I wanted to give her something unforgettable. Not a flashy, over-the-top bash, but something elegant and heartfelt, a night that screamed Emily. We rented a stunning rooftop ballroom in San Diego, decked out with soft lighting, tasteful decor, and a view of the Pacific that took your breath away. The night started like a dream. Emily was radiant, twirling in her dress, laughing with her friends. The playlist was fire, the food was a hit, and I stood at the edge of the room, my heart full. As a mom, you live for moments like these, when all the sacrifices, the late nights, the endless worrying, feel worth it. But what I didn't know was that someone else in the room wasn't celebrating. Someone was seething, plotting, and ready to steal the spotlight. That someone was my younger sister, Vanessa. Vanessa has always been intense. Growing up, she had a knack for making everything about her. Weddings, holidays, even funerals, if the attention wasn't on her, she'd find a way to snatch it. For years, I made excuses. That's just Vanessa. She doesn't mean harm. But deep down, I knew the truth. Vanessa didn't just crave attention, she needed it like oxygen. And when she didn't get it, she became a storm, tearing through anything in her path. I hoped, that she'd let Emily have this one night. After all, it was her niece's big moment. Surely, Vanessa could sit back, sip her champagne, and let someone else shine. I was wrong. So wrong. The party was in full swing. Emily was on the dance floor, lost in her favorite song, her friends twirling around her, laughter filling the air. I was watching, soaking in her joy, when the music suddenly cut out. A glitch, I thought. But then, a voice boomed through the speakers. This party should have been mine." Heads turned. Conversation stopped. The dance floor froze. There, by the DJ booth, stood Vanessa, microphone in hand, heels wobbling from too much champagne. Her eyes were glassy, her lipstick smudged, her face twisted with a mix of anger and something sadder, Messier. Emily stopped mid-step, her smile faltering, but she stayed calm, calmer than I could have been. Vanessa's voice echoed again. 16 years ago, I was supposed to have a party like this. But did I get one?
No.
Because someone, she flung her arm toward me, got pregnant and ruined everything. The room went silent. Guests shifted uncomfortably, their eyes wide. I felt heat rising in my face, my breath caught in my chest. I wanted to yank the mic from her hand, but I was too stunned to move. Vanessa was rewriting history, blaming me for a party she never had, and doing it in front of everyone on Emily's night. Then, something incredible happened. Emily stepped forward, her voice steady, her eyes locked on her aunt. "Clear as day, Aunt Vanessa, you're really going to love this surprise." The screen behind the DJ lit up. A grainy home video started playing. Vanessa, 16 years ago, younger but just as fiery, screaming at her parents, "I don't want some stupid party. Cancel it. I want the money for a trip to Paris instead." Our dad's voice calm but firm. "We already paid for the dress, the DJ, the food." Vanessa's response? "Unpay them. I don't want a lame party." A collective gasp filled the ballroom. The video ended and the room fell silent. Then chaos. Vanessa's face turned scarlet. "That was edited," she shrieked. That's not how it happened. But no one was listening. Not because they didn't believe her, but because my mother, my quiet, conflict-avoiding mother, stood up and roared, "Vanessa, enough." The night unraveled from there. My mom, usually the peacekeeper, laid into Vanessa. "You begged us to cancel your party. You screamed until we gave in. And now you're rewriting history because your niece got the night you threw away." Vanessa was shaking, desperate. "You're all ganging up on me." But no one came to her defense. Not her parents, not her friends, not even her husband, Paul, who stood at the edge of the crowd, arms crossed, his face unreadable. When Vanessa turned to him, pleading, "Paul, say something," he just sighed. "I'm done, Vanessa. With this. With you. With the drama." The room gasped again. Vanessa's face crumpled. "What?" she whispered. Paul repeated, "I'm done." And then he walked out, leaving her stunned. In a panic, Vanessa chased after him, her heels slipping on the champagne she'd thrown earlier. She crashed to the floor, her dress soaked, her makeup smeared, her dignity shattered. No one moved to help her. Not her parents, not her friends, not Emily. For the first time, Vanessa was alone in the spotlight she'd always craved, and it was a harsh, unforgiving light. Vanessa scrambled to her feet, muttering, "Fine. If none of you care, I'll go." She didn't storm out victorious. She left humiliated, her heels clicking hollowly against the ballroom floor. Emily slipped her hand into mine and whispered, "Best birthday ever." And honestly, it was unforgettable. But the story didn't end there. The next morning, my phone blew up with texts. "Did you see what Vanessa posted?" I opened Facebook, and there it was, a long, dramatic post from Vanessa, tagging me, Emily, and our parents. She painted herself as the victim, claiming I got pregnant at 16 to ruin her sweet 16, that Emily orchestrated the party to humiliate her, that we were all toxic. She ended with, "If you support what they did, unfriend me now." Some people bought her story, leaving sympathetic comments. But then the truth came out. Guests from the party started commenting, "That's not what happened, Vanessa. I was there." My mom even chimed in, "We have the video. You begged us to cancel your party." And then, the knockout blow, Emily's friend uploaded the full meltdown video to TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. It went viral, millions of views, thousands of comments. This is the most satisfying downfall I've ever seen. Imagine being bitter over a party from 16 years ago. The internet tore Vanessa apart. The fallout was brutal. Vanessa, a real estate agent, lost her job. Her public image, crucial in her line of work, was destroyed. Clients didn't want to work with the drunk aunt from the viral video. 2 weeks later, Paul filed for divorce, taking the house, the car, everything. Vanessa's friends distanced themselves. Her high school classmates called out her entitled behavior. For the first time, she had no one to hide behind. Months later, a letter arrived at my house. No return address, but I recognized Vanessa's handwriting. It was pages of accusations, blaming me for her lost party, her lost job, her failed marriage. At the end, in all caps, "I hope you're happy." And you know what? I was. Not because Vanessa had lost everything, but because I was done carrying her chaos. I'd spent years walking on eggshells, managing her moods, keeping the peace. But Emily showed me something that night. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Sometimes, the best revenge is peace, choosing yourself, stepping away from the drama, and refusing to carry someone else's mess. Vanessa wanted attention, and she got it, just not the kind she could control. We haven't spoken to her since, not out of anger, but because there's nothing left to say. I hope she finds her own peace someday, but that's no longer my burden. To anyone dealing with a toxic sibling, friend, or family member who makes you feel small just for existing, you don't owe them your energy. Let them go. Choose yourself. And if this story resonates with you, drop a comment, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and let's remind each other that we're not alone. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-life stories that hit hard.